let's talk about your heart rate. Do you know where you're supposed to be in regards to your heart rate when you're working out? Well, if you want more info, stay tuned. Sometimes when I work out, I'm like, am I supposed to be out of breath, like not able to talk, or should I be able to talk? Have you ever wondered that right there? Well, it's very, very important that you know your numbers, not just those numbers on the scale, but those numbers that's happening inside your body. Made me think about, like, before you work out or start a fitness plan, you really should know where you are in regard to your blood pressure, your cholesterol, diabetes, all that sort of stuff. Where are you? So you know what you're working towards, right? That's the first thing. When you're working out, you have to decide what are the results you want. So if you say, I want a healthy heart, I want to be able to run, jump, and do all this wonderful stuff, there's a certain type of workout. If you say, I just want to be strong, I want to be lean, I want to be healthy, that's another type of workout. And as you know, most of us in my fam, we're over 40, right? We're over 50, so things hit a little different. So today, I wanted to talk to you about the importance of target heart rate zone. Before we talk about that, let's talk about your resting heart rate. Now, I got some notes here because I don't want to forget anything, but your resting heart rate, the average is 72 beats per minute, right? Depending on how much you work out, it's going to be higher, it's going to be lower. If your resting heart rate is above 72, then you probably need to work out a bit more. The lower your heart rate is, the more healthy you are. Yay! My resting heart rate is 59, I guess because I do a lot of cardio and spin and that sort of stuff. So there is an equation. So let's talk about your maximum heart rate. So 220 minus your age. Whatever number that is your maximum heart rate. Now, you can go over that max, but it's not necessary because the main reason for that is to make your heart healthy. You're fit already and you just want to be healthier. You want a better heart, better organs, all that great stuff. So that's why it's important to have that max heart rate. Now, in order to find your target heart rate zone, there's a whole beautiful equation. I can put it in the chat if you want, but that is between 50 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. Now, to increase your endurance or your performance, that's going to be between 70 to 85%. So again, depending on the results you want. You're probably saying percentages. What is she talking about? I'll explain it even more. So let's talk about me, for example. The goal is to work smart, not hard, right? We want to make sure that we're doing the correct exercises, and you want to protect your heart. Knowing your range is going to be great when you're working out, because if it's too high, and I don't know if you have an Apple Watch, and even let's just say you don't have any type of Apple Watch or Fitbit or thing like that. Great. Let's just go by how you feel. Right? And I like to say on a scale of 1 to 5. 5, you're completely breathless and you cannot talk. That is all the way out of 5. And then you have a 1 where you're just fine. Now, I always say when you're working out, you should be able to talk when you're working out. If you don't want to deal with these numbers, can you talk? If you cannot talk while you're working out, you probably should bring the energy down. And I know for some people, like me, it's a little challenging because I'd like to feel that burn. And if I can't breathe, that means I'm working out really hard, but I'm not hitting those fat calories. So you have fat calories and then you have regular calories, right? And if you want to get to those fat calories, you want to make sure you're in that zone. So this is our midweek motivation, and this fitness journey here is a lot more than just looking good. Yes, we want to look good. We want to feel good in our clothes, yes, but it's about being strong. It's about being energized and empowered, not just for yourself, but for your family, for your friends, for your community, because that's why we're here. God gifted us with the ability to be strong, to have these great minds, and to push through, right? So don't just move with purpose. And I say this all the time, before you even come to class, right? Set your intentions. Maybe you're super tired this morning. Lord of mercy, let me tell you, I'm on day 4 of this 75 hard. And this morning I was like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like getting up. My body didn't hurt, it was just tired. It wasn't tired, it was tired. I was like, I don't want to get out of bed, but I knew I had to get out of bed. I'm reading, I don't see the book here, but I'm reading the book that's going with the 75 Hard Challenge, and it's all about mental toughness, right? This is the actual journal for it. for mental toughness. And it's pretty amazing, right? 2 workouts a day, but it's all about the action, right? What are you doing? And if you're sure about what you want, you're gonna get those results. So, as I said, we're not just working out, you're working for you. And I wanna give you some numbers here for myself, for example. 22 minus my age, which is 52, is 168. So 168 is my maximum heart rate. Dude, when I get to like 120, that is what I feel like. I can totally feel it. So for me to figure out my fat burning zone where I want to be, 168, which is my max, and you want to multiply that by 50%, 0.50, and by 0.70, and that's going to give me the range. So for my personal target heart rate zone, it is between 84 and 118 beats per minute. That is my target heart rate zone. So for you, 220 minus your age, write that down. That's your maximum, okay? So for me, my max is 168. Then you want to take that number and multiply it by 0.50. What is that number? And then multiply it by 0.70, that number. And that's going to give you your range of where you want to be for fat burning. And if you want to burn fat, that's the area you want to be. Now, if you want cardio performance, you want to be good, you're going to do the same thing, but by 0.70 and 0.80. And that's going to give you your cardio zone. So for me, mine is 118 of 143. And whew, I do that sometimes. Now, your personal zones is going to be where you are. You want to write this all down. And this is your homework for today. I want your fat burning zone. I want your cardio zone, your max heart rate, and your resting heart rate. Now, all of this, you need your resting heart rate. And you're probably like, girl, I don't know my resting heart rate. What is that? Apple Watch, or you can just you want to do it when you first get up in the morning. You can put your finger here, feel your beats, and then go from there. You count it. You can do it by the minute, count, or you can do 60 seconds and then multiply that by 2, depending on what you want. And that's that. So this is super, super important, as I mentioned, because what's happening when you're doing the difference between last thing and then I'm out of here. Last thing, I'm out of here. You ready? Because these are things I wanted to just freshen up for myself. So you have the fat burning zone and you have the cardio zone. You're probably like, what's the difference? So fat burning, what happens is your body uses stored fat as the primary fuel of source. So when you're working out, when you're in that zone, that extra fat that's on your thigh or your arm or your stomach or your back, guess what, my friends? You are using that fat. I know what some of you are saying. You're like, girl, I want to lose that extra fat here. I want to lose that back fat. I want to lose it. We can't spot reduce. I'm sorry. You can't say you want to lose weight right here. It just comes off naturally in the beautiful places. That's why you always want to do a total body workout. So that's the first thing when you're in that fat zone. The other thing, you're breathing heavier, but still able to talk. I said that before, right? You're breathing, but you can talk. I like to say sing a song. If you're able to sing while you're working out, you're good. It's great for fat burning, building consistency, and improving endurance. So think about those when you're working out. So on a scale of 1 to 5, I say you want to be around a 3.5, 4. That's when you're at your target heart rate zone. If you had to go by like a feeling, right? 5, kaput, I'm ready to quit. Now, this type of area is ideal for weight loss. So if you want to lose some weight, I know we don't like to say lose, but if you want to get rid of some weight, you want to be in your target heart rate zone. Also, it's great for beginners when you're first starting out, and also if you're recovering from an injury. For me, I've had injuries in the past, so low-key, I'm a little scared sometimes to do some things, so this is good for me as well. Also, longer, steady state workouts like walking, steady cycling, elliptical, things like that. These are different types of workouts that you can do. Definitely lifting weights. Now, cardio zone, that was the one that I said was higher, right? What's happening? Your body shifts to using carbohydrates for quick energy, right? Glycogen. You're breathing harder and talking becomes more difficult when you're in that area, and it improves your cardiovascular health, your stamina, and your performance. So if you're running a marathon or something like that, you want to get there. This is ideal for interval training, HIIT, or higher intensity cardio. It builds endurance and pushes you past your plateaus. And we like to throw some of these in there every now and again. And it also improves your heart and let's keep going. The key difference, the main difference between fat burning and cardio zone, fat burning zone, it burns more fat for fuel, and cardio burns more calories overall, and it boosts the strength of your heart. So with that being said, HIIT training. I know in the past we've been saying do the HIIT, and then you hear don't do the HIIT, don't do the HIIT. Depends on the type of HIIT that you're doing. right? You want to make sure that you're safe on your body. High intensity, it can be very effective for boosting metabolism, burning fat quickly, building heart and lung health, improving insulin sensitivity, and saving time with shorter, powerful workouts. But as I said, as we get over 50, you want to be careful with doing these. So some tips for this. Make sure you warm up thoroughly. Your joints are ready to go. You're just not jumping right into it. Keep the interval short and manageable, 20 to 30 seconds, 30 to 60 second break. And you know, sometimes we'll do like a 20-10 Tabata or a 30-15 Tabata. Sometimes I'll go wild with a 45-15. That means 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off. Focus on your form over speed. I always say it's the quality of the exercise. We want to make sure that you're not getting hurt. That's why it's very important to really try to have your cameras on. If you don't want to take a photo with your camera on, I get it. But for the workout, I really, really, really want you guys to have your camera on and make sure I can see the top of your head and the bottom of your feet. You can get a selfie stand as well that helps when you're doing that. Make sure that you rest and recover, and I said focus on the speed, on your form. So lastly, the best types of workouts for us ladies, strength training. We love the strength training. If you want nice, long, lean muscles, you want to lift heavy. I know some of us are moving over to those 25-pound weights. Woo, 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 woo. So excited for that. It boosts your metabolism, and it also supports bone health. So important. Low impact HIIT burns fat without stressing the joint. So low impact is not jumping. So it's like you could do a regular squat or squat jump. We want to do regular squats. So important. Or maybe you go onto your toes. Walking, cardio, dance. This gets the heart healthier and it boosts your endurance. It's a mood enhancer. So when you're dancing, when you're walking, you're like, you get those happy dreams. All right, yoga and stretching. I don't know about you, but I love a good stretch. This improves flexibility, reduces stress, and supports mental wellness. Let me tell you, ladies, meditation, yoga, breath work, it just helps us in all areas. So you definitely want to do that. Pilates, core work. You know we do core all the time, and this is the month of core. And balancing. You know, the past few months we had some balancing stuff we were doing. So that helps prevent falls and supports mobility as we age. Because as we age, we start to get a little like, whoa, what happened? So that's important. Golden combo. Are you ready? Are you ready? Golden combo. Strength training 2 to 3 days a week. Cardio, walking, low impact HIIT 2 to 3 times a week. Yoga, stretching, or mobility 1 to 2 times a week. And of course, rest and recovery. Now, if you're like me, you're doing the 75 hard and there is no rest. Plenty of recovery, but no rest. So on Sunday, I may do like some stretching, some yoga, some Pilates, something that's not so intense, right? And the final word, you are not old. No, my friends, you are not behind. Your body is not broken. You are strong. You are powerful. And you just need the right moods for the season that you're in. Let's stop trying to be that 20-year-old, or stop trying to be our 30-year-old self, or stop, I'm talking to myself right now, stop trying to be that 40-year-old, because I am 52 and I'm glorious and I absolutely love it. And I want you to love it as well. All right. With that being said, as you know, we have our classes every morning starting at 5:30. We have a bunch of classes sprinkled throughout the day. Come through, see Miss Hattie. Come through, see Betsy. Come through, see Renee. Come through, see Carlissa. We have all sorts of classes, and I'm super excited. And congratulations on still sticking in there. All right. Bye.